ye, gather round, all folk of all ages, for we have a new witch hunt on our hands on TikTok. Dear Lord. Yes, this is not a drill. TikTok is shaming another random woman on the internet who just decided to upload parts of her life on TikTok. Why? Because she fed her child donuts for breakfast. Treason. Shame. This is not okay. I honestly thought all of this was rage bait, and we'll get into all of that in today's video essay. But before we can even get into that, hello, my name is Cow Does Life, and on this channel we do video essays talking about things on the internet, and then we all discuss in the comment section in an open forum. Did I just say section wrong? I think I did, but let's keep moving because this is a one take, baby. And if you're not new here and you're used to the format, hello, it's me again, Cow Does Life, and I'm sporting a leather vest. Zooey mama. Let's get into it. Yeah, I've got a lot of energy. I've had 2 cups of coffee, but yeah. Right, video essay. Right, so as I mentioned in my first sentence in this video, this mum is getting a lot of flack online for basically what she chooses to feed her child. And you best know that if you share any of your personal life on the internet, everybody will backseat drive it for you and give comments on how you should actually be living. Because the internet knows best, clearly. I've seen this woman's videos come up countless times on my FYP, and I just kind of shrugged it off and just thought, it's clearly someone being obtuse on purpose. It's clearly someone being different to, you know, get a response on people to farm interactions, because, you know, the crooked glasses and the very low energy vibe, it's clearly someone doing a caricature of themselves to farm engagement. So I just thought, hey ho, not really much to say there, go on with it. But then her videos kept coming up time and time again, and I realized people in the comment sections are really deeping it and taking it literally and trying to give diet advice for how you should raise a child. And I just thought, there's actually some really interesting points that can be made about this whole debacle. You know, things like, does that child have sensory and texture needs? Are there certain things going on in their personal life that means they have to eat foods of convenience rather than foods they can make from scratch? You know, if this woman looked a different way, would this whole thing of being treated differently? Yes, of course. These are all very valid things that we'll go on to discuss. But before we get into that part, let's do a bit more context around this woman so we can really understand what we're dealing with before we get into the nitty gritty. So here's a classic video of hers. She kind of rocks up, low energy, throws a plate down, and then she dishes out some donuts, okay? And people are hounding her, being like, well, scrambled eggs wouldn't take that long to cook, or there's all these other healthy alternatives. And it's all just dumb initially, because people are saying this will still be giving their kids those pre-made fake waffles, which are horrific for you, or sugary cereals like Fruit Loops or Lucky Charms, which are just as bad because it's packaged as a cereal. People think it's good. People have really hounded this woman like she's some sort of evil thing, but you don't know the full picture. You're just seeing one TikTok and you're making sweeping assumptions that she's this terrible mom who's destroying her kids' life, when it's not that deep. You're just seeing one meal of the day, and who doesn't want to start the day with a sweet treat? And it could just literally be a treat. You don't know the full picture. And then here's another video where she's using a lot of oil in her cooking, and people are like, you can't do that, that's bad. She probably is just doing this because she knows this gets engagement, because a lot of this woman's videos also on her channel, which don't get anywhere near as much engagement, it's her just giving her children regular foods, strawberries and fruits and stuff. But those videos don't get the interactions because there's nothing to rage about. It's just someone just being a normal parent. So if she can do these ones where she gives her child, I don't know, their daily treat or whatever, but in their first meal, that's really gonna make people respond, which will farm engagement, which will get her, monies and all that jazz. So she's playing the game very well, and people don't want to see the good stuff because there's nothing to react to there. There's nothing to push against. So they want to make it out like she's this terrible mum, when in totality she probably really is just a normal mum, and not bad or good, just a regular mum, just doing her best. And I just don't get how people don't see this as so clearly rage bait. The glasses are skew with, there's no energy. It's the straight face, just I don't care. The throwing of the plate down, all of this would suggest it's comedy. She's doing a bit. It's funny. All it takes is 5 seconds to realize she's doing a bit, and you're not seeing the whole totality of their life. And that's what I've kind of put this whole thing down to. So I never really felt the need to look into it deeper, but because it keeps recurring and I keep seeing this woman get flack, I actually want to put some points forward and, maybe just give some food for thought. Pardon the pun. That was completely off the cuff. I'm not wearing any cuffs. Classic. Anyway, but here's point 1, and the point I feel most strongly about, because it's an anecdotal one, and who doesn't love an anecdotal story where I just ramble? But it's you do not know this family's whole living situation, okay? You don't know if that child's very texture and sensory based. And you're probably thinking, well, what does that mean, Cal? Well, here's a little story. For the first 18 years of my life, I kid you not, for lunch and dinner, I pretty much had chicken nuggets and chips for every meal without fail. Now, if my parents uploaded those videos on the internet, they'd be bombarded with, "You're a terrible parent. You're a terrible parent. Oh, I can't believe you did this. You know, your child's going to grow up to be like Gollum. Joke's on you. I just vaguely look like Gollum." They would have been hounded, okay? Because it's not seen as like nutritionally sound. But like, if you looked at the bigger picture, I hated wet food or anything I perceived to be wet, and I only like certain obvious dry textures that I could like crunch and swallow. So it wasn't worth the stress and hassle for my parents to try and get me to have other foods, because I would have like a meltdown. Like one time they got me to try and eat a bean, and I started like gagging and throwing up and crying. So they quickly learned this is not like it's just a child acting up. It's just I generally didn't like those taste and those feelings in my mouth, so we won't give him them. And you know, over time we'll slowly introduce him to like apple juice and apples and slowly diversify his palate. And you know, as an adult, obviously I've tried to eat like a normal human just for like assimilation and just to fit in like a normal person. So when I go to a restaurant after and be like, "Do you have chicken nuggets and chips?" I can be like, "Oh, I'll just have whatever." But like as a kid, it's just not really worth the hassle, because they come home from school, they're going to be so stressed and so tired that you don't want to be like, "Eat this, Timmy, because this freaking almond mum on the internet said it has to be this meal, or I'm a bad parent." I respect that from the woman, that she's showing like the real side of parenting. And like, I don't want to paint it as all doom and gloom. There's lots of lovely parents in the comment section being like, "Yeah, we've all done these meals before, these easy meals. You know, you're tired from work, your child's overstimulated from like nursery or school, and you're both just mentally fried and at your limit. It's easier just to do these meals, these go-to meals that you know are gonna be crowd pleasers." And you know, the body is very strong and willing. Like, I'm literally, for the first like 18 years of my life, were powered by chicken nuggets and chips, and I've still turned out to be a functional member of society with like no health conditions physically. Anyways, but like that was just like the obvious one. That's and I don't know, it's because I've experienced that firsthand. But I was like, how are you getting on this parent when you literally don't know the full story? That child could really have some needs and requirements that obviously the mum hasn't divulged about, and you're just getting on at her for. And I think that's wickedy whack, and I don't respect that. Word. And point two is like, in one of her other videos, she showed her going to the food bank to collect her food, and people were like getting on at her for like the foods that she was getting from the food bank, which was mental. Like, why would you even shit on someone in that situation? Oh my god, that just really irked me. And she was showing the food she got. People were like, "This is just so bad to feed your child and you." If someone is using a food bank or whatever, their number one goal isn't nutrition at that point. It's literally just putting food in their belly so you know you don't die of starvation. You freaking humans that lack empathy. Why do you lack empathy? Just can't you see if someone's going through it? Why shit on them? You know, just be nice. It really is as simple as just be nice, or maybe just think before you type some hatred spew. Yes, these meals may not be the most perfect in the nutritional standards or whatever, but like, I really can almost put like a billion squillion financial currency on it that the people that are shitting on her and being like, "These meals are bad, are probably just privileged tools that can afford to buy like organic ready meals, and like they're probably not pinnacles of health themselves. They just love to punch down, which is like a common theme on TikTok. People love lolcows. People love laughing at people to make themselves feel good, to make their own misery feel good. And I don't like that. Address your own miseries. Don't tear other people down unless they're being whack and perpetuating bad ideas to society. Like in my last video, I had to shoot at tradwives because that stuff ain't cool, and I don't like what it represents in society. But this isn't something that represents anything bad in society. If anything, it represents the shortcomings of society, that this can happen to someone, that they're having to go to food banks and they're having to have these meals. It's not fair and equitable, but it's just the realities of life. And under this world we operate in, some people are forced to go to food banks and they are forced to have these foods, and they just have to take what's there, right? Not they're like optimum choices for nutrition and health. It's such a luxury in this world to actually be able to think and make healthy, informed choices, right? Like to have the time to like prep foods and stuff is a luxury. A lot of people are so stressed and fried from their job and just trying to make ends meet that the last thing they want to do is go home and like cut food up. I was about to do the cut you up thing, but I already tormented you viewers with that song one time in a video. I've said it, so that's just as bad. But yeah, like, I don't know, empathy, please. Can we do it? And you can't help but just like feel that if this woman was packaged more as like the stereotypical standard for what beauty is, if she followed that more, people wouldn't get on at her much, because she doesn't conform to like stereotypical beauty standards. People can see that and be like, she must be a bad mum. Why is she feeding her child this? You're doing horrific things to your child. You're speed running diabetes. Or they're just saying cruel things for no reason. You don't know the full picture. And I guarantee those horrible, skinny, shellless almond mums are doing untold trauma, mentally and physically, to their children. You know, at least this child can be like, yeah, I actually got to taste a sugary donut. The poor almond child's mum will be like, well, I had an apple for tea and now I'm withering away. They'll, I don't know, fade into mist, or like when you slay a boss in Elden Ring and they just sparkle, which is quite beautiful, but then they just disappear. And then you're like, oh, well, we go again. If this was some like Botox baddie, what a term. Everyone would be like, slay, you're so real for showing this. But because, you know, she's not this Botox baddie, she's a normal girl, people are like, bad, boo, hiss, boo, you don't look like the Hollywood stand for mum, and you're not at a white picket house, and you use food banks. Ooh, that's too much of reality. I want you to perpetuate fake far-right idyllics of what a human should be like. Here come the trad wives. Dear Lord, none of you can bake. And look, this woman does make meals. She does try and make meals, and she does try and make healthy, informed decisions. But those videos do not resonate and do not get as much views because people just want to hate on this woman. They want to paint her to be this bad mum without seeing the full picture, without seeing the complete totality, when she's just a regular mum. In fact, I would go as far to say, if you've never let your child have a donut or a McDonald's or something, you're the bad parent. Because now when they do get older and they've never been exposed to these things, they're going to go crazy with it. They're going to be like, McDonald's, free will, I can do what I want. I'm my own person. But, you know, like everyone knows when you're 18, 19, 20, 21, pretty much up until like your mid-20s, you're a silly, goofy goober. You don't really know what you're doing. There needs to be an actual word for that type of human, because you're not actually an adult yet, even though you called one. You don't really know what you're doing. You're just goofing around. And then because they've been controlled so much, they're going to go crazy with it. And that's scary. And I think because I, you know, did just have chicken nuggets and chips for like every meal as a kid, I actually wanted to try healthy alternatives when I got older, because I was like, what am I missing out on? Also, you know, when you court and you date, if I'm like chicken nuggets and chips at the fancy restaurant, they'll think I'm a weirdo. And I want to seem well-rounded and measured, at least for the first few dates, right? And I can, yeah, anyway, this is not about me. This is about this lovely lady from TikTok. And even on the videos that got like less engagement, you know, the ones where she was actually showing the healthy foods she was giving her children, like the fruit and stuff, people were like, well, actually, I consider fruit to be a treat and not a main meal. Shut up, Wendy, you almond mum. Your children resent you. I resent you. The whole internet thinks you're shooting bad. I don't like you. You're wickety whack. And you ain't all that. That's the second time I've done that in the video. Definitely doesn't have the same impact the second time around, now that I'm thinking about it live time. But yeah, keep your opinions to yourself. And you may be like, Cal, keep your opinions to yourself? That is the peak of hypocrisy. Your whole channel is you giving your opinion. Yes, I weigh in on things that are clearly wrong. Like people bullying this mum when they don't have the full picture, or like when people are like, you should be a trad wife and submit to your husband. I point out why that's crazy talk and you shouldn't do that. You know, there's all these things going on. There's a time and a place to give your opinion, but broadly speaking, don't punch down, punch up. Or I don't know how to articulate. Maybe someone can articulate better in the comments what I mean there. I'd appreciate that. And even on an even more crazier tangent point, there's like this bell-shaped curve for nutrition, like what we all fall into, what we all need to be nutritionally sound. And I bet this point is a bit left field. But like, how do we not know this child is not like the new future of superhumans where they can just perfectly run on powdered donuts? That would be the dream if I could get all my nutrition from powdered donuts and I didn't have to have the same freaking meals every day and food prep. I say that I actually like the structure and I like knowing the taste and experience that I'm going to be having every day, so I have the exact same meals every day. Anyway, once again we digress, but this child could be the future. This child could be human 2.0. You know, I walked with my structured diet so this child could run and just eat powdered donuts and honestly taste all the tastiest sugary goodness foods and make all the same gains, mental and physical. You know, I'm envious of that. I want some of that pie, but I can't because it'll mess my sugar levels up because I'm human 1.0 and I have to be careful about sugar intake. But like, I feel like now you've heard me like rant about all of this and being like, or like blah blah blah, or what? What's that? That was crazy, Cal. Damn those coffees. Anyway, I feel like I just voiced all this. You can see like all the stupidness behind it, and there's nothing there of real concreteness. And clearly, if you just take a step back and look at this mum's channel, it's clearly rage bait, comedic rage bait. You know, she's choosing to be obtuse. She's choosing to be different. She's choosing to have the school with glasses. You know, that lazy demeanor, because it's an act. It's a character to, you know, farm engagement, to probably create a better life for her child, you know. And she knows that if she acts as a good mum, because she doesn't fit the beauty standard of what a good mum should be like, you know, she's not this Botox baddie or whatever, people won't interact with that because they'll be like, oh, it's just someone just dishing up meals. But if she does this slightly obtuse content where she's giving donuts for breakfast, which, you know, as I've said, are probably on the same nutritional value as those freaking waffles you can get, or Lucky Charms. If she does that content, it'll get more of a reaction because it's considered different and unhealthy and bad. Look what's in your Lucky Charms or whatever, my guy. There's so much sugar. It's all on the equal playing field. I'm not here to say whether you should or shouldn't do that, but like, it's silly and people just love to think they're better and punch down. It's also clearly rage bait and it shouldn't be deeped. She knows what she's doing and she's having fun with it. So, you know, get it, girl. Slay. Keep doing your thing. And if your child truly is human 2.0 and they can live off sugary donuts, that's so awesome. I can't wait to see them be the leader of the free world. And like, imagine that. Oh, nurse, I broke my arm. All you need is sugary donut. Sugary donut man like blasts through the wall. Bam, bam, bam. Take this. Shoves it in your mouth. Arm back together. We're back in this business. Yeah, boy. I've lost my mind today, and I know I've said this many times, but I had like 2 whole coffees. I really respond to caffeine. Like, that shit messes me up. We're going wild for the night. Heck, being to like, I'm not even making sense anymore because I just think this is all silly, goofy fun, and that's what I've got to say about this. And now I've got to speed run this edit because I was actually working all day to get this video out on time. And this has been your boy Caddles Life. Let's actually discuss it in the comment section. And if you've never seen me before, I'm not normally this high, obtuse, and speak this fast. I've just got energy today. I'm on a bit of an energy surge. But let's get the comments going in the comment section. Do you think I've missed anything? Are there things you think I should consider? I have to come closer because if I go further away from my mic, it will sound quiet. I don't know why I whispered. I could have just talked normally and you would have. Anyway, let's get a conversation going though. Like, do you think I'm being too kind? I'm giving too much ground? Or do you think it is just rage bait and it's really not that deep? Let's discuss it in the comments because you lot are always so much more articulate and concise than my sporadic mess of a human nature that I am. There will be another video essay here. And if you've enjoyed this video and you've got this far, please feel to subscribe. If you aren't subscribed and you've got this far, that's actually really impressive. I respect you. And I shall see you all in the next video. It's been your boy Caddles Life. Okay, bye.